Do you want to improve in Rainbow Six Siege and have aim like this? Or this? Tips on how to improve your gameplay in Rainbow Six Siege. Tip number 1, settings. Making sure your settings in Rainbow Six Siege are perfect makes a big difference in gameplay. If you want to see a whole settings video, go to the video that's in the description below and watch that video. Tip number 2, controlling recoil. There's many ways in this game to control recoil, but the one that I found that was the easiest was getting a perfect sensitivity that will allow you to control the recoil of any weapon that you want. Controlling recoil in Rainbow Six Siege can be complicated for some new players and even returning veterans of the game. But recoil goes a little bit like this. Many different guns in Rainbow Six Siege has a different pattern from going left to right or going straight up, but all weapons in Rainbow Six Siege go straight up, and that's how recoil works. So to counter recoil and have zero recoil at all, what you want to do is aim your stick down or your mouse down to control that recoil and has a steady aim for your weapons, like this. Whatever weapon that you're using in Rainbow Six Siege, you want to learn that pattern. Learning the pattern of any weapon in Rainbow Six Siege will allow you to easily control the recoil. So, for example, a Rooney's weapon usually only goes up and slightly to the left. So you're going to want to pull down and to the right. This allows you to have perfect recoil control for the specific weapon that you're wanting to use. So I recommend everyone that wants to learn a character in particular, go to the firing range, find out that recoil pattern, and master it down. Tip number 3, crosshair positioning. Crosshair positioning in Rainbow Six Siege can play a big difference in gunfights. It will allow you to be able to shoot faster and maybe even hit someone's head. In high level play, you want to have your crosshair positioning towards the chest or below the shoulders. For example, like this. You want to aim your crosshair towards their chest if you're a pro player and are able to control the recoil and flick fast enough. So, even if the enemy was crouching and you were aiming to the chest, you would have their head automatically locked on. But if you're just now learning the recoil in Rainbow Six Siege, I say just try and automatically have your crosshair towards the head, because when you're in lower ranks, it's highly likely that no one's going to crouch peek around a corner. So you'll be perfect like that. Tip number 4, reaction time. Reaction time in any FPS shooter plays a big role in gunfights, specifically Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six Siege gunfights are basically whoever hits someone's head first. So, for example, if I already have my cursor aiming on your head and my reaction time was faster than yours, I'd kill you first. But if we both had the same reaction time, it will be an equally matched gunfight and you'll be able to equally match anyone ever. To really practice your reaction time, I recommend you going towards the firing range, coming all the way here to the aiming lane, and picking the options like this, having a high round duration, target of a dummy, regular health, headshots only, and making them move randomly. Also have your target distance on random, because when you have your target distance on random, it'll be able to imitate those people coming at different ranges in actual games. Tip number 5, Tip number 5 is going to be a completely obvious one, but it's game sense. Everyone knows that you're going to want to have really decent game sense in Rainbow Six Siege to be able to actually play Rainbow Six Siege. For example, take the high level players. They know which angles to hold, they know which angles they're not going to get shot from, and which angles to peek from. This allows the high level players to be undetectable from the enemy and also have a good understanding of map positioning and stuff like that. Tip number 6, learning what characters to play in Rainbow Six Siege and what characters are going to be situational for your team to win the match. For example, if you were on attack and your team already had a hard breacher, you may want to play Thatcher. Or if your team already has the roles that want to make up, for example, you need a hard breacher, a scanner, or something around there, then you'd want to play someone that's going to benefit to the team. For example, if you have a push comp, play Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi is going to be able for your team to have a lot of info and be able for your team to really hear sound cues and find out where the enemy is. Or you can play Lion. Lion is also a really good pick here because it can cause the enemy team to not move and stay in their positioning when you're rushing in. Or you can play someone like Osa, more passive, or Zero, more passive, or even if you're playing push comp and you really know what you're doing, play Ayana or Zofia or Finka. For defenders, you always want to at least have someone that's going to be beneficial to the site. For example, Mira. Mira has a lot of defense for sites. If you have a really good Mira on your team, Mira can hold down the objective by herself. Same thing with Castle. Castle can also hold down the objective by himself if you know how to play him perfectly. Kapkan is also a really good pick because if you have Kapkans that are going to be unpredictable, then it's going to really cause them to take a lot of damage, and it kind of can change the sway of the game. Frost can also be a really good pick for a trap character. It's an insta-down, so why not? Tip number 7. I recommend you to watch high-level games or high-level pro players to really learn from them. Let's be honest. The short answer of trying to become like the pro players is not going to happen in a day. But if you take the time to learn the game, learn some of these tips, and take these tips into a perspective of you wanting to better yourself and you wanting to get better at Rainbow Six Siege and climb the ranks, then these tips are going to help you out and you will actually be able to climb the ranks throughout Rainbow Six Siege, and it'll be really beneficial for you in the future. Getting better at Rainbow Six Siege does not happen over a day. Take Jynxzi into account. It took Jynxzi about a year to actually get good at the game. If you go watch like some of his past streams, he's not the greatest. But I can't really talk. I'm still getting back into the swing of the game. But as a past player of the game, these tips really helped me out, and it's still helping me out to this day to get better at this game. And I think it'll be beneficial to you to really use these tips to incorporate into your gameplay to help you out in Rainbow Six Siege. This is the last tip, and this is the best tip of them all. If you stayed to this part, you're gonna really be happy that you stayed. And the last tip of them all is going to be actual rankings and teams. So if you're solo queuing in gold or platinum, let's just be honest, you're not going to get good enough teammates to climb the ranks. So if you actually want to get a good team and find some other squads to team up with, then it would really help you out in climbing the ranks for the comps. Because if you're solo queuing, you're not going to have any comms at all, and it's not going to really help you out when doing so. So I recommend you finding a team. Now, matchmaking and ranking, just know this, your ranking does not matter. It does not matter if you're bronze, you're copper, you're silver, anyone can climb up to champion. If you just take these tips into an account and really use these tips that I just gave you to try and climb into your ranks, and you have faith into yourself, then you can climb ranks all the way to champ. Trust me. That's going to be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to give you a few clips and a few ways that I improve my gameplay. I hope you guys enjoy these clips. I hope you guys like this video, and I hope you guys would subscribe. It really would help me out a lot. I'm trying to put into the grind on YouTube, and I would like it if you guys would be there with me during the grind. I'm glad you watched this video, and let's move on to the tips.